Hello, my name is Eliza Day, and today I will be addressing the topic of pollution. Pollution has been a rising problem the last couple of decades. This issue expands worldwide. While most people mainly think of pollution in our water, they do not realize it affects most of our natural resources, especially our air. These are the two major types of pollution that I will be discussing today. Pollution has surged the world's concern. With it causing 5.9 million deaths last year, it has become the world's largest environmental threat. I propose that it is time to explore the different solutions offered to solve and take control before this problem gets out of hand. It has been around forever, but has greatly increased over the past couple of decades and centuries. Centuries ago, life was simple, but nowadays the economy and the way of life demands supersized production. A 2012 statistic averaged an American daily use of 365.65 million gallons of gasoline a day. I don't think we really realize the mass of that. We only fill up our cars once a week with either 12 to 20 gallons, let alone 3.65 million gallons of gas a day. Another statistic showed that in 2013, the average of production for coal for the United States was 983,964 tons. With all these tons and gallons of coal and gasoline being produced, there is more excess waste now than there ever has been before. All of this waste has to be dumped somewhere, and sadly most of the time it ends up in our natural resources. Land products are one of the main contributors to water pollution. Motorboats' gasoline is constantly spilling into our water sources. Another problem that many people are aware is the recent oil spills, specifically in the Florida Gulf, Texas, and Michigan. Here are some pictures to show. Surprisingly, dirt and soil products can be a pollutant to our water. 80% of our pollutant in the ocean comes from landfills, and the other 20% comes from ships and boats. It is averaged that the amount of plastic found in an ocean could add up to two sizes of Texas. Two sizes of Texas? Texas is 268,580 square miles and the second largest state in America. Just imagine the size of plastic of garbage floating around in the ocean. Here are some pictures. Pollution impacts our everyday lives. When pollution started affecting our air we breathe, there was no way of hiding from this problem. The question is, how are we possibly going to hide from the air? The answer is, we can't hide from anything that is so essential to our life. Air pollution is usually caused by factories, pesticides, radio fallouts, mills, plants, and engine exhaust. Pollution occurs when these chemicals or gases are released into the air and have nowhere to go, therefore creating smog. Centuries ago, factories or engine exhaust did not exist, so we had no concern of those chemicals getting released into our oxygen. Since they now do exist, we are learning about this problem more and more as years go on. Many people also do not know the damage of indoor air pollution, which is just as dangerous because it is in your home and you are in your home very often. Gas stoves, fireplaces, and building materials can lead to this kind of pollution. Those are not the only sources. There are also some cleaning supplies, chimneys, and radioactive gases that cannot be seen or smelled that can affect the air you breathe inside your home. Air pollution has impacted China the worst. In some cities it is so bad you can't see a mile away, and you must wear a face mask so you don't inhale the polluted air. China's air pollution is 3 times over what the World Health Organization considers to be safe. This pollution in China has led to more disease and death. Here are some pictures showing how bad this smog and pollution is. also estimated that it cost China $1 billion in 2013. The only ways China can obviate this problem is to change their ways of transportation, energy levels, and coal and gas production. Many people might think there are only complicated ways to reduce pollution, but in fact there are some simple ways too. Some you can practice at your house are by conserving energy, by turning off your lights and appliances when you're not home and not using them. You shouldn't smoke inside, and you should test your home for radon. Radon is a chemical that comes through your floors and cracks through the ceilings. It is not visible and you cannot smell it, so you should be tested because your house could have it and you wouldn't even know. You should also have maintenance checks on your fireplaces and stoves to make sure they are all working correctly and not leaking any gas or chemicals. You should turn down your water heater to 120 degrees Fahrenheit, buy some green products, and be effective with your driving and use of gasoline. You can also choose to recycle your bottles and plastics. There's a current act called the Clean Air Act, which goes to reduce air pollution over time. We cannot expect this to work miracles overnight, but hopefully over time we see a difference. There's also much talk about a carbon tax, which hopefully would make companies cut back on their use of carbon. This tax would also act the same as any other tax, and it would be an extra charge on the company's use of coal, gas, and oil. This act is all in favor of us going green and trying to decrease the amount of pollution in our world. I propose for us to find a solution by decreasing the amount of chemicals we let into the air and by cutting back on the usage of plastic, coal, and oil. As you can see, China, who burns the most coal and gas, has the most pollutions. The countries who don't have as many factories and use as much gas and coal, like the third world countries, do not seem to be suffering with this problem. So the solution seems easy. Burn less chemicals and coal. But it is easier said than done. Hopefully in the next few years we see a decrease in the amount of pollution. Thank you for your time today, and let's go save the world.